superheroes in the world that has long sealed his fame as a legendary pop culture icon among millions of his loyal fans. Spider-Man as a hero was made up by a talented editor and writer Stan Lee, but it was a legendary comics artist, Steve Ditko, who turned his hero into reality. Lee suggested that the new hero should be a teenager who faced never-ending financial issues and had no senior mentor. And to make things worse, this little fellow got bitten by a radioactive spider. The head of Marvel Studios, Martin Goodman, did not like this concept, saying that it was the worst idea that he ever heard. But the hero was still given a chance, and in August 1962, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man first appeared in the comic series Amazing Fantasy number 15. This release turned into one of the most successful bestsellers of Marvel Comics, and in 2011, it was ranked as one of the most expensive releases in the world. It was sold for $1.1 million. Readers of all ages got to like wall crawlers so much that already in March 1963, Lee and Ditko launched a new comic series, The Amazing Spider-Man, which soon turned into the most profitable and all-favorite comic release of Marvel Studios. By the way, if you are too fond of comics and everything related to them, check out Beautiful Halo, where you'll find all kinds of cool merch related to comics, games, anime, memes, and many other themes. Check the link in the description and find your favorite hoodies and tees now. Let's take a look at what makes Web-Slinger such an unforgettable and unique superhero. The story of Spider-Man is familiar to almost everyone. An orphan teenager whose parents died early was brought up by his aunt and uncle in New York. Perhaps Peter Parker would live an ordinary life if it was not for one incident at a scientific exhibition. The kid got bitten by a radioactive spider. Soon after that, Peter discovered his new superpower: superhuman strength, agility, excellent sense of balance, incredible speed, wall-crawling ability, and a specific spider sense for the approaching danger. But even without that spider incident, Peter Parker is not as simple as it may seem. He is a genius mind with a mental power almost as great as that of Tony Stark and Bruce Banner. He's pretty good at chemistry, engineering, physics, biology, maths, and mechanics. He was even resourceful enough to assemble web shooters, and he quickly got the hang of how to handle them. At one time, his decision to ignore the escaping thief accidentally leads to the death of his beloved Uncle Ben. And this is where Peter realizes that, with great power comes great responsibility, and he never forgets about it. After changing into the Spider-Man suit, Parker turns into a brave and courageous hero who is good at using not just his spider sense and web, but also his mental power and a good sense of humor. Just like Batman, Spider-Man has made a huge number of enemies throughout his life as a hero. The first enemy of Web-Slinger in Amazing Spider-Man number 1 was Chameleon, followed by Vulture, Dr. Octopus, Sandman, Lizard, Electro, Mysterio, Green Goblin, Kraven the Hunter, Scorpion, and Rhino. All these villains appeared in the Spider-Man comic series throughout the first 3 years of its release. But the most famous was the clash of Spider-Man with the supervillain Venom, who first appeared as a black symbiote costume of Web-Slinger himself. Apart from cool supervillains, Peter Parker also met cool girls. There were 3 major ladies in his life: Gwen Stacy, Felicia Hardy, aka Black Cat, and of course, Mary Jane. It seems like it is not only a great responsibility that comes with great power, but also beautiful women. Such an astounding phenomenon as Spider-Man could not be neglected by television for